Hey guys, welcome back to my Python course, and today we're going to talk about lesson 0.3 as we're slowly going through the class, and we're still on the introduction class before we do any type of coding, which will begin in lesson 1. But please do not skip these videos, these lessons, because they're all going to be relevant later on. So today we're going to talk about software and setup. This video is going to be a little bit longer than the usual. Okay, let's get started. So there are many ways or approaches in learning Python or how to program. And my aim is to teach it from my comfort zone, which just means kind of the tools that I use and how I learned myself. I am a PC guy, which might surprise some of you guys out there, but I do have a Mac, so I will be using that as well for certain demonstrations and setups and installations. For the purpose of this course, we only need a couple of things. First of all, we need to install Python, or basically the Python interpreter. It's what we use to run our scripts, to interpret our scripts, to read them. Next, we'll need a text editor, and I really like Atom, so we'll be using Atom. Next, we'll be needing the command prompt, which we don't need to install because you already have it on your computer. The command prompt is basically the program or interface that we use to run Python in order to interpret the scripts that we write using Atom. And finally, we need to, well, we don't need to do this today, but we'll be using inputs and outputs, basically local text files. And now I'm going to walk you guys through a clean setup of everything I just mentioned, assuming you don't have Python or Atom installed. I'll be going over Windows installation and also MacOS installation. Okay, so let's start with Python. We're gonna just install this right now. Let's see. Python, just type in Python in Google, install. It's the first link, the official website. It automatically detects your operating system, so we're gonna click on this link. It'll install, or it'll download the installer. So I have it here on my desktop, and I'm gonna go ahead and just run this. So yeah, this is fine. It looks all good. We're gonna go ahead and so this is the important part. Make sure you check add Python to path. Okay, so this allows us to run Python directly from our command prompt anywhere we want, and we can just go ahead and customize installation. You don't really need to do this. Let me see. Yeah, this is fine. You don't need to do any of this. You don't have to change any of this. So we'll just go ahead and install now. Okay. Of course, just how fast this will be depending on your computer. Okay. Waiting. Let's go. How are you guys doing today? I am doing well. Oh, it's done. Okay, good. I don't have to small talk now. All right. Yeah, we can go ahead and disable that. That's fine. And close. To check that we have Python properly installed, we need to open up our command prompt, which you can just easily find by searching through Windows, command prompt, and we're gonna just type in Python basically and hit enter. Okay, sweet. We have Python installed. You should see something like this. Python, the version right now is the one we just installed is 3.10.4, and yeah, there we go. Let's see. Yeah, this is Python. This is what we call the interactive mode when we're directly talking with the interpreter. We actually won't be using this mode very often, but anyway, this is how you check that Python has been properly installed on your Windows operating system. Now let's go ahead and work on a Mac computer. If you're running a macOS, I believe Python is already pre-installed but it might be a different version. It might be Python 2 actually. I'm not entirely sure because I'm not very familiar with Macs, but regardless, we're going to install the latest version and it's very similar to the Windows process. So let's begin. The process is very similar to what we did for Windows. And excuse me if you hear something in the background, it just started raining all of a sudden. So let's just download Python. Very straightforward. We'll search it again. It'll be the first link. Click on that. Click on download. And just like before. Once it's finished downloading the installer, we can go ahead and open it up and click on it. Just hit continue and continue. Yes, continue. Yes, we agree. And the default installation, just go ahead and hit install. Okay, for this I have to put in a password. Okay. And this should take a little bit of time. Should be pretty quick. We'll see. Okay, alright. Running package scripts, ... Okay, cool, great. That should be it. And in order to check, we can just open up the terminal. What is this? Okay, yeah. That's the installer. Oh, yeah, this is notification. Oh, it's been successfully installed. We can close that. Move to trash. That's fine. We can open up our terminal and then just go ahead and check if it's been properly installed. For macOS, we have to type Python 3, the entire word like that, and then hit return. And there we go. Python 3.10.5. And let's just try something out here. Okay, yep, looks good to go to me. And that is how you install Python for Mac OS. Okay, great. Now we have Python properly installed. Let's go ahead and move on to installing Atom, our text editor. Let's go ahead and install Atom now. We're going to just find it just like we found Python. Just type in Atom install into Google. And then first link, atom.io. Once again, it'll automatically detect the operating system you're using. So go ahead and click the link. And it'll just install the installer. A hackable text editor for the 21st century. Yeah, it's pretty great. Here we go. Just go ahead and run the installer. I believe this automatically installs it. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's, yeah, okay, great. Atom's being installed. It will launch once it is done. So once again, just kind of wait around a bit. It should be pretty quick. Ah, there we go. Okay, cool. So you should see something like this. Now, it may not look exactly like this because I had Atom previously installed. I had to uninstall it and reinstall it to show you guys this. So it might be a little bit different, but it should be something similar to this with like the welcome screenshot. The welcome window, tab, whatever you want to call it. And for now, that's all you need to do. Just get to this, basically this page here. Okay, and we can just close this out for now. And now let's get back to the Mac. Let's go ahead and install Atom. We'll just do what we did before. Search Atom. First link. And it should just automatically recognize our operating system. Yep, Mac OS. We'll download it. And just like before, we will install it on our computer. Similar to Windows. Open this up. Just click on it. It'll unzip it. Okay, there we go. And that is installed. We can go ahead and now, well, we can move this to our application folder directory, but this has already been installed. We can just check on it directly here. And yes, we want to open it. should just open here. I don't know why it's taking so long. Okay, there we go. Let me, yeah, here we go. And you should see something similar to this with the welcome tab and everything. And there we go, pretty straightforward. That is how you install Atom for the Mac operating system. Alright, fantastic. Now we have Atom properly installed. Next, we're going to go ahead and configure the command prompt. This is an optional step, but I like doing it, and I'll leave it up to you guys if you want to do this or not. Alright, so if you open up your command prompt, it'll start in your default path, your home path, which is most likely going to be under C. Now, I don't like working in C. I like doing all my stuff in a different drive. So of course, if you want to, like for me, it's the D drive, so you can just go ahead and switch drives that way, but you have to do this every single time if you want to move to a different drive. Now, this might not be annoying to you guys, but this kind of annoys me. So I like to have my command prompt open up in the D drive. So for you guys, it could be D, E, F, or whatever other drive you want. And there's a pretty easy quality of life change to this. Now, you don't need to do this, like I said, it's optional, but I like doing it. So I figure I might as well show you guys how to do this. It's pretty easy. So all we need to do is close that out. So we go to our command prompt, and instead of left clicking, we're going to right click, and we're going to go to open file location, and we're going to go ahead to this shortcut. We're going to go to properties, and it says start in, and it's going to say home drive, home path. We're going to just get rid of this and change it to whatever drive you want to start in. For me, it's going to be the D drive. So there we go, and hit apply, hit OK. And now when we hit our command prompt, ta-da, we are starting in the D drive. No more changing it. Alright, so again, this is optional, but I think it's pretty convenient. And for the Mac, we don't have to do anything here. So we're all good. We're going to be working from the default path. Alright, great. So that is that. And lastly, this is just for organization purposes. And again, you guys might have a different way of organization, but I'll just show you how I like to work when I'm writing scripts. And it's very simple, making directories. Otherwise, just making folders. Nothing fancy here. So here we are in the D drive. It's because, again, this is where I like to work from, and this is where my command prompt is now going to default in when it opens up. And I've just made a folder called test. Again, this is just an example. You guys can do whatever you want. So I made a folder under D called test. I'm going to click on that, and in that folder I have another folder called lesson 1. And if you click on that, obviously, okay, there's nothing in here. So yeah, that's just how I like to keep things organized, folders within folders. It's up to you how you want to keep things under control and manageable, because once you start having like all these inputs and outputs and scripts and everything, it's going to get confusing. So make sure you have a good organization system. And I will show you guys how to access these folders and locations from the command prompt, because that's very important when we start running our scripts, but that'll be for a later video. For now, this is enough. And for the Mac, we're going to be working from our default path, which will just be under the documents directory. And for a similar analogy as the Windows, I have a folder right now called test. And underneath that, for example, I'll have something called lesson 1. Yeah, so that would be kind of just my organization that I'll be using. It might not be exactly like that, but it'll be something similar to what I just showed you for my Mac computer as well. Okay, fantastic. That is the last thing I wanted to cover today. Hopefully you found this video helpful. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Take care.